Hi my fellow diamond friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kalikaloo on the internet and I also go by the name of Kali, and I'm very happy that you found your way to today's video, which will be another WIP&SIP&CHAT. So finally I'm back with another WIP&SIP&CHAT. So if you're new to diamond painting, WIP stands for work in progress. So this painting here is my work in progress, the work I'm actually currently working on. And so you can join me while I'm chatting. You can just like work on whatever it is you're working on or whatever you want to do. And it's not just work and chat, it's also like there's this sipping part. So go grab something to drink and stay healthy and hydrated while you work on your project. So that's really important to me, like staying healthy, staying hydrated. And should you ever hear weird noises, that comes from Edgar, my Frenchie. He just had his meal. So usually when that happened, he's a little bit more active. So we will see how that goes. So let's kick off today's WIP&SIP&CHAT. Before I go into the details what we are going to talk about today, I'm just going to show you a little bit more about the picture. So it's a picture I actually have, other way around, worked on for quite some time now. I started it at the beginning of the month. Just a little bit earlier than the beginning of this month. And it's the picture called Autumn Foxes from Jolly Jam. So Jolly Jam is our small shop and we have legalized artwork, and this is the painting. So I've started with the bottom part, then I worked my way up through this fox here. Let me try to zoom out for you guys so you can see. So this is the part that I have done so far. Like you can see a little bit of it is done. And I'm working now on the trees, and there's another little foxy that appears up here. Let me get back to my setting. So we are going to work on this part here today. I was thinking normally what I do, I start at the left and then I move to the right. But I wanted to skip this part today just to work on that part that I have already like opened up, which will be like the main part. You can see it's the head of our little fox here. So I'm going to try to bring it a little bit closer to me, try to get like everything into view again. Sorry for the shaking camera. So this is the part we are going to work on today. So it's a little bit a bigger part. There's a lot of confetti going on. You can see it here. Also with the contrast you can see on this, there's a big difference between this one here and like the actual image. So should you ever get like a painting from us, be aware that like don't be afraid of like the initial image. It's just to make it more easier to diamond paint and recognize the pictures. It's not like the real final colors that you're seeing. This one is like, it came like I ordered it with 3 different like special diamonds just to show you a little bit more. So I have like these very beautiful ABs, like white one if it wants to focus. Then I have glow in the dark ones, so you can't actually see it, it's white ones. We have other colors, just be aware that sometimes they are semi-transparent. And then we have finally the crystals, and I love these just because when you place them, these are the white ones, they have the sparkle of the surrounding colors that come with it. So that's really something that I like about it. So let's start it off, and to finally get into it, just before we do that, have you seen my lovely pen? So this one is from Facebook, from Natasha Monod. If you want, you can check her out. She's on Facebook. And she's selling diamond painting pens. I really love this one. I wanted an orange one to go with this painting, so this one was the one I got. I'm really happy about that. So now really, let's start it off. And what am I going to talk about today? So let me just take my drills, otherwise I will be rambling about, but I won't really like work on my diamond painting. So what we are going to talk about in today's WIP&SIP&CHAT is like my trip. So you know that earlier in July, I went to a trip to Malaga, like more Torremolinos in Spain. I told you a little bit more about that in my earlier WIP&SIP&CHATs. That's when I also noticed that I actually did not do a lot of WIP&SIP&CHATs during like the summer break I had. It's just like I try to be like more regular once like school happens again. So a little bit about that in an instant. but yeah, so I try to get more regular. So, you know, like bringing out more WIP and sip and chats again on a regular basis, and also getting more like variety on my channel, not just like Jolly Jam Shop related, but also like more of other diamond painting companies, because like I personally at the moment I'm just working on our stuff, but there are a lot of other things like other companies, brands that I really like and that I would like to showcase also on my channel a little bit more, because it's not just about Jolly Jam Shop, of course. So yeah, this is what I wanted to say. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about the trip. So the trip is, we actually went to London this time. So London is like a place that I really love to go to. So if you have seen or following me for a while, you know that last year in July, I went to London with my grandpa. And this was like the first time he went there, and we had like a really great time. London is really a place I enjoy to be at. Like, it's very different from here, and it's a very beautiful city. Like, it's really, if I have to say 10 places I love the most in this world, like it would definitely figure on that list. So London is really, really beautiful city, and I enjoy going there every time. It's pretty expensive at the moment, because like ever since Brexit and ever since like prices going up everywhere, it has become even a little bit more expensive than last time we were there, but I still enjoyed it very much. So this time around I did not go with my grandpa. I told you guys in my last video that grandpa was a little bit sick, so he could not come with us to the trip we decided to do in Malaga, in Spain. And ever since he's doing better, so he has been released from the hospital, and they are now scheduling a date where he can get operated for his, like, it's just some stomach problem, and so he will be operated and then it should be better. It's nothing like really bad, it's just like standard procedure that they are going to do. So I'm happy about that. So it's nothing like too bad. But so he did not come with me, and I went there with my boyfriend. And this time, like, I was not going to the same place that we have been staying before. We stayed in a very small, last time we went there, I stayed all over the place already in London. So very different places in London. But this time around, we decided like to go to a hotel, because last time it was more like a hostel. Everyone had his room, everyone had his own shower and bathroom, but it was pretty small. And even though it was like really centered, it was at Borough Market, which is pretty close to the center actually. This time we decided to go somewhere else, because I had a friend like at work who has been living in London for a few years. She has like studied there, and later on she had like was teaching there over in London before she came back at university. And yeah, now she's my colleague at work, and she was like, why don't you go stay there? So she told me to go stay, check out Greenwich. So I had never been to Greenwich before. I had never visited that part of London actually. So I was pretty curious to see how that would turn out. We actually left pretty early in the morning. We decided not to take the first flight though, because someone had to drive us to the airport. So we took the second flight that took off at about, I think it was about 10 in the morning when the plane took off. And since there's like a short difference in time between the time zone we are in and London, we arrived like 1 hour earlier than it is here in my local time, which is pretty nice. So we arrived pretty early, and we went actually straight to the hotel. I had asked them to like just give us early check-in, because I did not want to wait until 3 p.m. To be able to check in with like our luggage, because we still decided to go with a small bag. And I really don't like working around with that so much. So I decided to just pay for early check-in and then be calm, and I think this was a great choice. So I prefer like paying a little over like getting around with my baggage everywhere, and it's like even if you're doing sightseeing, it's way more comfortable, I think. So this is what we decided to do. Once we arrived, we did like try to buy an Oyster card for my boyfriend because he did not have one at the city airport where we arrived, but unfortunately they were closed, and it's not the first time that they are closed. So I was wondering if they are ever going to open up again, because it's like every time I come there, like I feel like the station, like where they sell the Oyster card, is always closed, and I have no idea why. If they are like trying to reduce it, or I don't know. But finally we just came to Greenwich and we checked in, and yeah, we were off to a little adventure, like to discover Greenwich. So we had never been there before. Well, my boyfriend, he has never been to London in general, and I had never been to Greenwich, so it was quite an adventure to go there and to check out the just like the places that were there. The hotel is really cozy and it was well situated. You have a lot of lovely restaurants there. You also have a Waterstones. More about Waterstones in Insta. So if you don't know, it's like some kind of bookshop, and they have them all over London. And yeah, so there's a lot of that, and we got off at Coddy Sark. So Coddy Sark, if you don't know, Coddy Sark is like an old tea skipper. Like it's a boat that transported tea through London and China, and it's really like one of the fastest boats that they have there. So it was really interesting to see that as well, because like they usually don't have that. Most of them are like gone, unfortunately, but they like kind of preserved that one. So we had a look at it from outside. We did not go inside, but what we decided to do is we decided to go visit the astronomical tower, like where they actually from the order of the king were measuring time and distance. So what is nice, I'm going to try to blend in few photos again, so just that you have like a quick look at what I'm actually talking about. So it's actually like up on a hill. You have to go like a little bit next to the University of Greenwich, which is pretty beautiful. And then you arrive like at a big park where there were a lot of students. We had a chance that throughout our whole stay, the weather was like really nice. So there were a lot of people outside in the parks chatting and having a good time. And it was really hot. So when we arrived, we like went to that park and we went up the hill where you have like a very beautiful view over London. And also at the observatory is there, like this thing I was talking to you about a minute ago. So it's actually like where they were measuring time and trying to find out how to measure, like get the different time zones right, because you know that when you're on sea, the whole thing is about sea actually. When you have a boat, and in the earlier days it was really difficult like to measure time on sea. You either had to have a clock that was like in your own time zone, and this helped you to like navigate on the sea. But unfortunately, you know, back in the time it was really hard to have like a time that was like a clock that was working the right way all along without like touching it, or it was really difficult. So you had a lot of ships that actually did get into big trouble or even like drowned just because of like the accidents that happened because they could not navigate the right way on the sea. And it was actually at the place, the astronomical tower that we were visiting, that they found out like how to measure time. And it was there that you also have like this, what they call the meridian line, the GMT zone, like what I'm always talking about when I talk about the releases of our new canvases. I always say GMT +2 and so on. So that's actually the GMT time, the base, like the zero, the mid where the sun comes up. And it was like actually also there that you have the line that they had drawn. And it was fun because when you were in the museum, it's kind of a museum, you could visit a house and the place where the meridian line runs. You have actually this line and you could take photos with it. So I did that and it was really fun. The concept of it all, like, I know why it's really important. The house where they all stayed was really beautiful as well. The concept is difficult to grasp. I feel like I'm not like a navigator. I have not really an idea about sailing. So having like this concept of meridian line was a little bit weird at the beginning. So I'm not able to explain it throughout. So if this is something that you're interested in, you can always go check it out. But I will show you like the pictures that I took. I really enjoyed it. Like, it was really nice to go there and visit it. When I go and make a trip like that, I like to visit some museums, but I'm not like the person that is going to stay all day long in the same museum. So we checked it out, but we did not like stay for hours. Like, we had a look at everything that was there. We had a look at like the most interesting descriptions. And there was also a camera obscura, which was really nice because down, when you're up on the hill, you have a good look over like the park. And down at the bottom, you have like Queen's house. You can see it in the picture. And there is actually the very first camera obscura they used at that place. And it's still like, they replaced it, of course, but it's still located at the same place. Camera obscura is like the old photographs that they took, like with this big box where they put their hat in. Maybe you have seen it when you have seen like these old films. And they have it, and they actually are filming with it, the Queen house. So you can see it in live, and it's pretty impressive, I thought. But unfortunately, there were like a lot of people, and it's in a dark place, like in a dark room. And it's hidden by like curtains. And whenever someone comes in, unfortunately, like the picture doesn't move because it works with a mirror that reflects the lights and then represents like the image again at another part. And every time someone came in, like the light flickered and you were not able to see its beauty because there were like a lot of visitors coming in, going out, coming in, going out. So that was a shame. And that's also why I thought at the beginning that there were no colors in it. But when I asked like the guide, like the woman that was working there, she said, oh, there are colors though. So it was just me who could not see it because of like all of the visitors that came in and out. But I guess that's normal when you go to visit a place like this. It was interesting to see though. So when I was in my college, I actually was working for 2 years with an old camera. So we had this option where we could develop our films and photos ourselves. That's where I learned how this works. And this kind of reminded me of that time as well, when we were like in these dark chambers and we were developing our own pictures like in black and white. So it was really a throwback for me as well. But it was really interesting to learn a little bit more about navigation and to see all of these instruments that they had at the first place. It was so huge before they got at the navigation clock that we are knowing today, which is pretty small in comparison to what they had at the beginning. So really interesting. But from there on, we just kind of, after the museum, we just kind of stayed there for a while, enjoying the beautiful view and the beautiful time. My boyfriend, he had worked late the day earlier, so he was like, actually he had worked nearly until 5 a.m. in the morning because he had to finish something for our work before we went off. And so he was pretty tired and he kind of like just went along. And I hope he he said he enjoyed it though. So we relaxed a little bit for him to get some rest. And afterwards we went a little bit more, strolled through like Greenwich to see a bit more about how it was, how it is there. And then we went to Waterstones. We had some bubble tea as well because there were a lot of bubble tea shops in that area. And then we kind of just like finished the day after having a good look at everything. And at the evening we just had some pho. So if you don't know, it's like this Vietnamese soup. And my boyfriend, he's actually Vietnamese, so he knows a lot of that stuff, and he recommended me some stuff. I had some very nice drink. It was some jelly, lemongrass drink. I could really recommend that if you find it. Don't get it though in those like soda cans, because this is not the same. But if you have them in bottles, it's really nice. I really like that. It was sweet, but not too spicy as well. As for the food, it was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed myself. And afterwards, we went back to the hotel. Like I told you guys, there are a lot of things there to eat, a lot of restaurants, and it's pretty nice to stay there. Why we also picked like this place was because we decided to go on first day to a concert. I will tell you a little bit more about that in an instant. And you have the O2 Arena, which is pretty close by. So that's last time when I went to a concert in London, actually, we had to walk back for hours because like circulation was blocked and you did not get any bus to go home. So it was really horrible. And the next day we were leaving early. So I did not want to reproduce that. I really just wanted to have a nice day. And so I decided to go with a hotel that was like closer to the concert venue. This time I did not really want to walk for hours and hours. So the first day was pretty nice. We just like, I wanted to go actually to the O2 Arena by foot, just have already a look at how to get there. And I also wanted like to go and use like these, they are like, you know, if you go to skiing, you can also use like this, what do you call it? It's called Sessellift in German. It's actually something like a cabin that's flying on rails. Like it's not really rails, but it's up in the sky. So I don't know what you call those. I should probably check up the word. But it's like, it's going around through the air. You can like, it's cabin in the air and you can go in there and it takes you around. You have a beautiful view apparently over London. But in the end, we did not go there. We did not make it. We were just like too tired from our flight, from working, from everything. So we just had a good night's sleep. And the next morning we went off to London City, like the center itself. And like I told you guys, my boyfriend, he had never been there. So what we did the first day, I was like trying not to go too far. Because I know he's like not the person that walks the most. So he's not used to walking a lot. And he had new shoes and I did not want like to wear him out already on the second day of our trip. So we actually went to the northern part of the Thames. And we went to like everything at Bank. So we went to I did not want to book Sky Garden. It's always like a pain to go there. But we went instead to, what is Garden at 137 or something like that. It's not as high up as Sky Garden, but you have a very beautiful view from there as well. When I went there last time with my grandpa, he was like really amazed by the beauty of it. So I decided to go back there with him and to show him around. And I had completely forgotten how late actually in London everything opens up. So when we arrived, everything was still closed. So first thing we did actually decide to go get a Starbucks. So we just had something to drink. We had like a little breakfast there. And then we went to the Tower Bridge. We had a look at Tower Bridge and the White Castle. And afterwards we went back like to this garden at 137 or 27. I can't remember I will put it up here so you can see it in a picture. It was really fun. Like I enjoyed it up there, and we also did like take a few photos of it when we were up there. It was really nice. I love the view and we had a good time. So the weather was playing nice with it and it was really beautiful to stay there. And you also like, which is fun, is that there are a lot of constructions going on in that area. Like it's really bank finance and so on. And they are constantly building new buildings there. And like not just like small houses, but like big skyscrapers. And you can see that when I went there last year with my grandpa, I should really compare pictures, because like the construction that they made had moved on quite a lot. So even though this one was not yet finished, they had already started working on something else next to it, which would be even more like higher and bigger. So it's constantly in, like, it's changing all the time, which is fun to see. And when you're up there, you have such a beautiful view of everything, so it's really, really gorgeous. If you're going to London, please go check it out, or go to Sky Garden, which is apparently very nice as well. I think next time I will go there just to see the difference between the two. So that's what we did, and afterwards we just kind of went to, is it Lancaster, like, you know, the galleries where they filmed like part of the Harry Potter movie. We went through there. We got him an Oyster card because you can get it in some shops as well. So we got him his Oyster card. We visited that. Then we went on foot. We continued through St. Paul's Cathedral. We did not visit it though, so this is also still something that's on my visiting list, definitely, because I really want to see it from inside once. And then we moved on, like, where did we go to after that? So we kind of, I remember, we went to Covent Garden from there, and then we finished the day off in everything that was, I think it was the second day we did that actually. Then we went to Soho, like part of it, and that's where we finished the day off. Like, we had something to eat there, and then we kind of went back home. So I think we stayed out a little bit later that night. We went we had a stroll next to the Thames, at the evening. So it was really beautiful though. I can't really remember, like, I don't have my photos there on my phone with which I'm actually recording this, so I can't like check up where we actually went. But I know that we only went to the northern part of the river because I did not want to like mess things up. The second day then, what did we do? We didn't actually finish there. We actually went up to like Regent's Park and we finished on the Sherlock Museum. I think this was that day, I can't remember. But anyway, I visited Sherlock Museum this day, this time when I went to London, and I have to say that I was frankly a little bit disappointed. It was pretty expensive for what is there. So of course it's a house. So once you know Sherlock Holmes, you know Arthur Conan Doyle, the author of this like really well-known detective figure. So Sherlock Holmes, you know him, and his friend Watson, they are kind of living in Baker Street, and you can visit like the museum, even though it's like not really, it's situated in the right street and they have the right plate, but it's not the right house. It's situated a little bit more up on the street than the original house would have been. It's a figure, like it's not really a real person that has lived, just to clarify things, because my boyfriend was like, yeah, but why did we go see it if he's not real? Well, we went to see it because I like it. Like, I really like Sherlock, the figure, and I wanted to see like how his house was like, what it was like. And you can actually like go there. There's a shop, which is pretty nice the first time you go there. The second time I just discovered that they had the same thing than they had last year. So I was not getting anything like I already had bought last time around what I was interested in. But we went there, we got some tickets, we went up there, and I was like a little bit skeptical from the beginning, but I was like, okay, maybe it will be nice. So you can visit like the house, and I thought like they had more like live action there, like they were like actors, because they have a lot of people who work in that house. There are maids and so on. And when you go up there, she's also telling you a story. So she's telling you a little bit more in general about Sherlock Holmes. She says that they have like reconstructed this house with all of authentic Victorian like decoration. That's why you have not the right to touch anything, but you can like make photos. And then she's like kind of saying that she's showing you like a little bit the first room, and then you have to go up and discover by yourself, because they have like some things written down and you can read it, what it is and so on, but it's really not big. And when I went there, it's nice because on the second floor you have like the room, you have like Sherlock's study, you have Watson's room, you have like the housekeeper's room, and so on. But in the upper part, like the last part, you have like really the bad guys Sherlock has confronted. You have Moriarty, you have so on, like figures from the wax cabinet, which is next door. And I feel like it was okay, but it was way too expensive for what it was, because I was really like, it's nice to see stuff from the Victorian age, but more than that, like it's really not that interesting. So I would not go back. I would not recommend it. Even if you're a big Sherlock fan, no, I would not recommend. Go to the shop, buy something nice there, but like don't spend your money on that. So you have like certainly some museums where you can also see old Victorian stuff. You have more explanations, and for the rest you can imagine it in your head. So I was really not that impressed from that museum. It was really more than, I will show you some pictures again, you will see what I mean, but it was really just like a house. I visited a house that was kind of decorated and full of stuff, and that was it. So it was not, they could have made live action. I think I would have enjoyed that, like placing some actors there who replay like some roles, especially since you're paying like on every floor. I think this would have been nice, like way better. In the end, we did not finish in Regent's Park. We never went to Regent's Park, just because my boyfriend, his feet hurt and he had blisters and we were really tired, so we actually went back. This was the first day. Well, the first day was in Greenwich. And afterwards, the next day, we decided like to just go along on the other side of the river. So we discovered everything from, we just kind of got off again on Tower Bridge. We went like over Tower Bridge, and then we kind of just went along the river. We discovered the Globe again, like the Shakespeare's old theater. Let me get a sip as well. We discovered also Oxford Tower, and before that, like around midday, because now we had understood that we could go get up a little bit later because like everything was closed anyway. So we went out a little bit later that day, and for midday we arrived at Borough Market, where we had stayed last time around. And while I'm more a person who likes to go and check out like places, my boyfriend is more the type of person who does go and have like a food. He wants to try food. So we actually went to Borough Market and we had some food there, and he decided to go for Japanese. I went with like a sandwich that was really, really nice. It was made of pork, but that has been marinated or cooked for a very long time. And then there was like, they had some vegetables in it, and they had honey and mustard, I think it was, and some truffle. So this like, is it some kind of mushroom? It's the one that pigs actually look for, and it has like a really distinctive taste, and I know some people like it, some people don't like it, but I really love it. So that was in there, and it was so good. Like I really enjoyed eating that. And it's fun if you go to Borough Market, because like they have like this big market. It was even bigger than the last time I was there. They had so much to choose from, and it was difficult to find something, but everything was looking so good. So when we go back there, I will definitely go there again to check out the food. If you love street food, that's where you should go. It's really, really nice. Like it's a great place to discover new food from all over the world with varieties. So I did not like, this was I think the time we ate, I preferred like eating in London this time. So this was really, really good. Borough Market, really an address where you can go when you have like want to eat some local street food. And it's a shame that we don't have that here as much, because it's really, really delicious. So afterward, we continued our little stroll. We went over to Oxford Tower. There was a shop that was not yet there last year, and they sell like scarves and tissue with prints that they have made. And I really liked one. There was one with a fox on it. It was pretty expensive though. So it was written that it was cashmere or silk. So I know this one is expensive, but the price was really, really way too much for what it was. And the guy was really trying to sell it to me, and I was like, no, I don't like that. If you're really insisting, I won't buy. So I did not buy anything. And it was too expensive anyway. But the thing is that when Oxo, I don't know if you know Oxo, the tower, like it's like a building where they sell a lot of handmade stuff or like crafted stuff, from jewelry over to leather stuff and prints and whatever. And you had like this, since it's handmade, usually I was like asking the guy if it was like him who had, he said he had designed it and stuff. So I asked him if it was him who had printed it. And he was like, trying to evade the question. Like he was like, yeah, I worked on that. Yeah, I made the kind of design for it. Yeah, I was like, but yeah, have you printed it? And he was like, no, yeah, the design is what we make, but you know, it's printed elsewhere. And I was like, yeah, okay, it's made in China or anything like that. So I was like really not impressed by that either. I don't know, when I go to trips, I really don't like if people take me like for, I don't know how I should put this. You often have that like in southern like countries where it's hot or stuff. They try to come with like fruit, and then they try to sell it to you super expensive. And I think it felt the same way. Like he did not do it by his own, and he did not like want to say that he did not make it, and that's something I don't appreciate. But of course he's new, so he wanted to sell his stuff. Probably had not yet sold anything, so I understand. But still, don't lie. And don't try to hide stuff, so obviously. So yeah, otherwise it was fun. We continued our little walk, and we arrived at London Eye and Westminster. So that's really nice place, one of my favorite views actually. So if you have seen or followed my channel for a while, you know that I have a London painting I bought from Diamond Art Club with the view of London. And I was like, my grandpa, he was kind of nostalgic because he could not come with us. So I was telling him that I would do that picture for him if he wanted to, if he had a place for it, to hang it up. And he was like, yeah, please do it. So I went, I could not tell him the measure. So, and I did not want to go up and check throughout all of my boxes to see the size. So I went to Diamond Art Club's webpage and I could no longer find it. So I discovered that actually they had like, finished producing it, so you can't get that painting anymore. And I was so sad because it's really one of the most beautiful London paintings that I have seen, that figure that exists as a diamond painting. So I was really sad about that, but I'm looking forward to work on it eventually, so you might see that soon on my channel as well, just because I want to finish it for him so that he can hang it up on his wall if he wants to. But yeah, so we went there and I had this beautiful view. I love the lamppost that they do have there. Like, it's really black and you have like fishes on them, and I don't know why, but I really think that they are so beautiful, and they fit perfectly with like the whole feeling you get when you are working there. Like, you're walking there and then you have like this beautiful view of London Eye and of the bridge and of Westminster Abbey, and it's so beautiful. I also have like the feeling, if you have, I don't know if someone from London is actually watching, but I have the feeling that whenever I come around this place, like London Eye, there are always students who have graduating and who are taking pictures there, and I don't know why. Is this like really the time where everyone is graduating and they receive like their diploma, or is it like really just by luck that I always see them? Already last year, like when we went there, I just saw them like with their hats and from university and all, getting diplomas, making pictures with family and friends. So I was wondering if it's like this time around when people are getting diplomas in London. So if anyone can help me out, answer my question about that, that would be nice. So I die a little bit less stupid. From that, yeah, we went on. We just kind of continued a little bit, and we went to the Birmingham Palace and the park, where we actually had a look. Like, we stayed there for a while, got a little bit of a rest because it was still hot, and we had a look. Like, took a few pictures of the squirrels, and then we went through like Piccadilly, Oxford Circus. We tried to go home, and I don't know if I think it's next to Piccadilly. There's actually a shop, like it's a little boutique that looked quite exquisite, where they sell Japanese like cookies, like or cakes or whatever. And they sell them like always super expensive, because in London I feel like everything is expensive. And we wanted to try them. So every one of us like got one cake. And I was so disappointed in them. Like, I don't know, they said it was their signature, and they were really not that tasty. Because later on for our trip, we went to like a Korean supermarket. And when I had like this dorayaki there, like it's a little Japanese pastry with red beans and cream inside. I had them when I was in Japan as well. They were 100 times better than the signature ones from like this expensive shop. And I was like, so sad. And my boyfriend, like, he felt the same. He had like some matcha green tea. And he was like, this does not taste anything. So we were really curious. And when we got back to like the hotel, we checked actually the internet to see what people were saying about the shop. And they got pretty good reviews. So I was like wondering why or how, or if people do not taste it. And then we went to like YouTube, and there was like one person who did a review about the cake, the signature cake my boyfriend had. And she was like saying that the cake was like not what she expected. And you could read on her face that she was not happy with it. But she just kind of went on and she said, yeah, but it's still good. It tastes the matcha and so on. It's not too vivid a scent, but you can taste it. And I feel like, oh, here we go again. Like another review that's not honest at all. So you could read it on her face. She should work on her face though, because that's exactly like the guy. You can tell that she's lying, but they kind of, I don't know why, don't want to say anything. But the cake was not good. So this again is another place I would not recommend you to go. You can try it. Go try it. Maybe we had like bad luck and the cakes we took were like really not that good. So don't take those we had. Just maybe try something else, or go to like really Chinatown, Soho, and go get like a Korean shop you can find there and go get them. Like they are really better and way less expensive as well. So this is how we finished like our third day. So we had discovered like both sides of the Thames, and by then I was already like a big book shopping. So I was like, really, it's like whenever I go someplace, people bring back like souvenirs, and what I bring back is books. And the thing is, what I love about London is actually that you have a ton, you really, really have a ton of places where you can, especially Waterstones and the Forbidden Planet, where we went to as well. Forbidden Planet is a library, like a bookshop, where they sell only like science fiction, fantasy books. And that's really a place I love to go to as well, because I love fantasy. So if you're ever in London and you love fantasy, go check them out. They always have like books like Waterstones or Forbidden Planet with signatures from the author. And my friend, like, who went to university there and told me go stay in Greenwich, she was like, can you bring me back like a book? She wanted really a book that was signed and first edition. So I brought her back the book. I found it really next to our hotel, like the Waterstones I was telling you guys about. So I found it there and I bought it for her. And I really like this concept of having signed editions, even like if the author is not as well known. Maybe in the future they will be. I find the idea so interesting to have a book that the author really had in his hand, even if it was for 1 second just to sign it. So I brought her back the book. It's actually a book I'm currently reading as well. So it's the book. Let me show you. I have it in French. I brought it for her in English, like the first one. So it's called Bone Season from Samantha Shannon. And I had read like the first one when I went to London last year. So it has been a year, and this is the second tome of it. And I already have the third one, so I really wanted to read this. I had like this urge to read this for quite some time now. So I was like, when I get back from London, I finish my book and then I'm going to read that. So this is what I did. I started it yesterday and I'm on page 116. So I'm moving on through it like pretty fast. I have read 20% of it by now. So, but I really enjoy it. I love the story. It's a bit complex sometimes too, but they did like a flashback of what happened in the last book. So I was not like entirely lost. So happy about that. No, but what I say is that they have like a lot of signed editions there. And when I went there, I actually could not, like I went to bookshop as well. So I did not buy I bought a lot of different stuff when I was there, but I mainly bought books. I feel like I bought a lot of books. So let me show you actually. And then I continue like diamond painting. So if you are interested in book talk, please skip forward. So this one is the first one that I got from my boyfriend actually. So he loves to like give me presents, books as well. So this is an exclusive signed edition also from Waterstones. It's from Chloe Gong and it's called Immortal Longing. So I don't read like what is here. I just had a look at the cover and I was so in love. Look at the gorgeous colors of this book. And if you open it up, just look at her. She's so beautiful. And then even like before I show you the signature, so same thing here. And she's so gorgeous. Take a look at her, Chloe Gong. She's so beautiful. Like she's really, really beautiful. And like the illustration of it is amazing. So when you have a look at it, you can see that it's actually signed. The book is signed. So I'm so happy. So nice. And yeah, you can read it and then you have like signature and so on. So I really like this. Very beautiful book. I'm not going to tell you what it's about because I have no clue either. So I'm not going to spoil anything. I just like the cover and I know it's fantasy. So yeah. Hey, yeah. Then I went on and this I got from Forbidden Planet though. So this one is from Shop. So she's also known as very known artist by now. She had written like, what did I read from her actually? The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I really love that one. So if you have not read that, read it. It's really amazing. And I also read the first series she wrote. And he is like, I think it's an independent book. But again, you have also like her signature in it. So I really wanted to get that as well. And I love the book. Look how beautiful it is. And you have pictures in it. And beautiful book. Like I really wanted it. So I was like, I asked my boyfriend, do I really need all these books? And he was like, yeah, you need them. And whenever he says, yeah, you need something, then I'm going to get it. Sometimes he says no, and then I don't get it. But I really needed this. And here is like something really special I got also from Forbidden Planet. So this is from Ben Aronovich. And he's actually, you know, I talked a little bit about urban fantasy in my previous like videos when I talk about fantasy in general. This is some subgenre I really love. So urban fantasy is more about like city and fantasy mixed together. And this one is about a detective. And he has like, he has the power, so he can do magic, and he also works with the police so that he actually can work on crime scenes or crimes that are linked to magic. And it always takes place in London or the environment like next to London. And I really love that because it just takes you through London and you discover places you have been or you imagine them while you read the book. And that's something I really enjoyed. So this one also is signed. And the thing is, they do have all of his books signed. Not all of them are first editions, but they are all signed. And I was like, should I get them all? And I was like, no, you get this one, you get the latest, and then you wait. And when you go back there, you get another one. And so I have a reason to go back to London, so that's fine as well. So these are the signature, like the books that are signed that I brought back, but I also brought back other books that I got from the airport, because when I went to the airport, I saw them and they were like having this really nice offer. So they were offering you like, you buy one, you get half the price the other one. So don't do that to me, because then I'm going to buy more books. And I was at the airport, so I actually had no reason not to buy anything, because I would go through the airport and I would go home. So I had a lot of place left. So I bought these two. So fourth ring. So there are a lot of people who were hyping this one up. So I just kind of had to go for it, especially since the second part will be out pretty soon. So I don't know what it's about. It looks like dragons. Okay. So I have not read it. I'm not going to read what's written there. I just want to plunge into it and discover it while reading, without like getting spoiled by what they wrote there. And finally I got Yellowface, and this one I actually read down on the back, and I'm just going to tell you what is written there, because I like it and I'm intrigued by it. So Yellowface, the cover is like really simple, but I love it. So this is one hell of a story. It's just not hers to tell. Okay, that's really how it's starting. Athena Liu is a literary darling, and June Hayward is literally nobody. White lies. When Athena dies in a freak accident, June steals her unpublished manuscript and publishes it as her own under the ambiguous name Juniper Song. I like that. So then we have a lot of dark humor, but as evidence threatens June's stolen success, she discovers exactly how far she will go to keep what she thinks she deserves. Deadly consequences. What happens next is entirely everyone else's fault. So they don't spoil too much. We have the plot written out, but I'm curious to see how far she will actually go. It looks interesting. I really love it, and definitely one I want to read sooner than later. So yeah, I bought a lot of books, and I'm actually thinking about, like, I always bring back books when I travel. Let me play some drills down for you at the same time. So I always bring books with me when I travel. Like, I always get some nice books. And I was thinking about just like kind of putting a mention maybe into the books, saying when and where I bought them. I think this would be a good idea to do. Like, I really would love that, I think, as an idea to just remember where I got them, because I buy so many books and then I forget. And usually I don't forget where I get them, but maybe one day I will forget and I'll, oh yeah, I bought that in, I don't know, 2023 in London. And I was like, oh yeah, that's great. I have a lot of memories of that. And then I go back. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just rambling around. So sorry about that. Whenever I see books, that's really something I have to go for. And I don't know how many bookshops we made. Like, there's one big Waterstone. It's a Waterstones on Piccadilly with 5 or even more floors. Yeah, I think there were more floors than 5. And it's so huge and so beautiful. And my boyfriend was like sitting on the sofa waiting for me. And I was like, I'll be quick. And they had so much to look at. And if I could, I would like probably have even bought more books. But I was traveling light. I did only have my small baggage, and yeah, I did not want to pay like more for books. So I just kind of told myself I'll be back, and then next time. So I have a reason to go back. But I love this idea of signature books, signed books. That's something that does not really exist here, or you have to go to big events. And there they just have like limited edition of them, and then you go and grab them if you want to, and that's fine. So I really love that concept. Unfortunately, like, you can also like order them over like through the internet, but I think it's not the same as if you go there. I have ordered one though, and it has still to arrive because it has been delayed. Unfortunately, it's from Nevermore, like the series Nevermore. It's a little bit like Harry Potter. I really love that. It's children books, but really amazing. Big fan of that as well. So yeah, let's continue. Like, I think this is going to be a long one. So yeah, I'm trying to make it quick because I'm getting tired and I have a lot of other things to do as well, but I want to just like finish with some things. So on what was it? That was Wednesday. On Tuesday, we actually had a big day planned because Tuesday was the day where we went to see our concert. So we went to see a K-pop concert from Twice. I don't know if you know them. And it was pretty amazing. Like, I really love going there. They have like the best venues in London. People are like really into music there, and I told you it's not the same vibe. So I was really curious to see how this one went ever since I went to the BTS concert in 2019 in Wembley. This time it was in the O2 Arena, so it was a different arena. And we went there on time. There were like a lot of people, and I got to buy my light stick. If you don't know, if you go to a K-pop event, like K-pop, every band or group has like their own like light stick. It's a stick with some decorative part of it, and it's lighting. And during the shows, they actually kind of synchronize the lighting so that you can, they create an ocean of light. And it's really beautiful. And you being part of it makes this whole, I don't know, it makes it so magical somehow to be part of that ocean, the lightning ocean, of course. And usually in London, there are like big arenas. And so if you're in there and you have the light stick, it's really fun. And you feel part of something big. And just like you live it differently, I feel. So we went there on time. We did like queue up a little bit. We had really nice seats. We were in pretty close to the stage, actually. When I bought them, I did not get the tickets right away. I feel like I'm always unfortunate and I never get like the tickets I really want. So I had to buy them. Like, there are people who buy more than they really need and then they sell them for more expensive. So I bought it for a little bit more expensive, but I think it was totally worth it because we got some good view. And it was really fun. So we had to wait a little bit before they opened up the doors, and then we went in there and we had to wait a little bit more. I did not know about that, but between the opening of the door and the actually concert starting, you still had like 1 hour 30 left. So we went there and it was pretty cold inside actually, and I had not thought about that. I really was thinking that it's outside, like it's open maybe. I don't know. I had no idea what the arena actually would be like. So it was really colder, but once it got filled, it was better. But I still had to buy like this sweatshirt. I usually prefer buying sweatshirts over like t-shirts. I don't know why. It's more comfortable, I think. But it was really fun. So I got my light stick, I got my sweatshirt, and then we waited and they finally came. And it was such a nice show. So it was fun to see them live on stage. They had a lot more charisma than I thought they would have. Like, especially Diane, which is one of like the ones that spoke mainly with us because she speaks fluently English. It was so fun on stage. And people were also pretty respectful, except for the end. Like, it did take like 2 hours, and there were like really nice parts. I loved how they were interacting with us. I loved their solo stages. Unfortunately, I think that the sound was not as clear and as good as it could have been. So you did not really always, the lyrics were not as clear as they could have been. And even though it does seem clear on my phone when I did take the films, like the movies I made, it does sound better than it sounded in real. I don't know if iPhone does actually like switch things up, change the sound or what. But it was not as clear, unfortunately, in the concert. We got a good look at them and it was really fun. It was my boyfriend's first concert, so it was a nice experience. He thought it was a little bit long because in the end, K-pop events, they usually do some freestyle, which is not planned. So they actually let us choose their songs for the final, and they just kind of sang it and had fun on stage. Like, they interacted with the fans, they interacted with each other, but he found it was a little bit like boring, which I guess if you're not like the biggest fan of the group, this can happen. Like, I enjoyed it a lot, but I did enjoy it a little bit less than I enjoyed the BTS concert, just because, like, even though I like them, I'm not as big of a fan as them as I was when I went to see BTS, for example. I think this does play a lot as well, and I think he would have preferred, and he said so afterwards, a boy band. But yeah, it was a nice experience. Afterwards, after the concert, we had to go home, of course. And I was happy that we were where we were, because the hotel was like closer than getting through all these crowds that went home. It was hard to find the way back though, because like we arrived by boat that day. So when we went there, we did actually take the boat to go there. And so we had never like actually made the way back to the hotel by foot, and we did not have a clue where to go, because they were working on that place, and there were a lot of cars, and it was so difficult to find a way, and I was afraid to get on the road for the cars. And finally we did find our way back, and it was like quicker, like we did not even make an hour to get home, so it was fine, it was okay. And the next day we kind of slept in a little bit before we went out again. And that time around, we just kind of went to... Where did we go? Oh yeah, it was our last day before on Saturday we went home. So we actually went back to the place. I let him decide where we wanted to go, because we had seen like mainly what I wanted to see. So he decided he really wanted to go back to Soho and Chinatown. So we went to Chinatown, we had a little bit of a breakfast, and we bought some stuff in a Korean like shop. Then we had our breakfast, and afterwards we just kind of went to Chinatown, where he got something to eat. He had some ice cream, and I can't really tell you what it was, but it was really disgusting. It was not good. Like even he said it's not good. And it was like a dessert that actually you would eat, like it was Chinese dessert, and I don't know if they did it the wrong way. It was with ice and stuff, and it was really disgusting. It did not taste anything. I had just, unluckily, I did not want anything when I saw the dish. I just wanted like a tea, so I got my tea, which was okay. It was good, but like the dish on itself was really disgusting. Afterwards, like we kind of went to Pop Mart, so I wanted to see if they had like some skincare, because I really love like Korean skincare or Japanese skincare products. So I want to see if there were like shops. Of course there were shops, but they were like not as there are better places on the internet where you can buy them than actually in these shops. I think they are selling them double price from what you can get them if you buy directly on the internet. So we did not get anything of that. But I got to Pop Mart. I don't know. Do you know Pop Mart, what this is? It's like these little figurines like you can get actually to place. You have them like with Disney's and so on. What are they called? I have a few of them. It's like Pop Mart. I'm going to show you pictures of them. Like you get different... It's a small shop that has opened recently, I think. I don't know actually. But it has opened and they are selling only these figurines. It's a bit by Skull Candy, it looks like, and they have like different themes, and you can either get the whole box or you get like one of them or two, whatever you want, and it's random, so you don't know which one you will get. And I had like already offered my boyfriend one for his birthday. I got him the dinosaur one, and I just bought 3 different ones for myself, which I wanted to get. It's not like the whole collection. If I want the collection, I can still get it. But I just bought 3 individual ones, and they are fun. Like I opened them, I let my boyfriend open them up, because there was one I really did not want to get. All of the other ones I did not really care. And he was like, okay, I have a look at it, I have a peek at it, and then I'll tell you if it's the one you don't want. And if you don't want, we are going to buy another one. So he opened up the box, and unfortunately it was not the one I did not want. It was the red queen, so I was really happy. It was Alice themed actually, so I was happy to get the red queen. I was like really wanting Alice, but this one is fine as well. So maybe I will get the box for that one though. That would be a nice one, I think, to have all of them. I just displayed them at my place now, and I just kept the boxes behind, and I put like the pictures in front of it. So this was really fun. The day we actually spent it like mainly going through the streets, eating, and just having like a look at stuff we had not yet seen. So it was really not much of discovering new things. It was mainly just like working and just having a look at stuff like shops. Afterwards we went also home and like to Greenwich again, and I bought a few gifts for for my mother and for my grandpa. So I bought him Lego. Like, if you know Lego, you have like in London you can get the Lego to buy the bus. So I got him this one, so he can he can build his own bus with Lego stones, which is fun. He also has like a train, so this one will come in handy. It's the same size more or less, so he can place it there. He has not started working on it, but I think he will do that soon. Then for my mother, I got like, she loves everything that's more like spiritual or stuff like that. So I got her like a little golden bell, and I got her a scarf that I found really beautiful. And yeah, she was happy about that when she came pick us up. So we went home the next day. I bought also 2 berets. We were in Greenwich. You also have like this market, Greenwich Market. And you have a lot of people who are actually showing their handmade work. You also have people who are selling street food there, where we ate as well. And yeah, so we had actually a lot to discover at that place, and I bought 2 berets. So beret, like this thing, these hats that you often see French people wear. I really love to wear these in autumn. And I got some wool ones that a woman from China, she has been living in China for a long time, and she explained to me that she has been living like for a few years now in London, and she does them by hand, and she's inspired by like the way she saw like Chinese do it when she was back home. And yeah, so I bought 2 of them, and I'm really happy that I got them because they are really unique. You have like one with a big rabbit, and you have one with a cat, and I think they are so special and so unique. Maybe you will see them eventually when I wear them, and you may see a photo of it. I don't know, but really, really pretty. So I really like that. And so yeah, the next day we actually went home. We left pretty early. I think this one here dropped. Yeah, we went home pretty early, so we had to get up at 5 a.m. and to arrive on time. The only thing with Greenwich is that at that time, like the metro we used to take was not yet working. So we got up a little bit later for us to get like the very first metro, which was still fine. So we went there, we got there on time, we had the time to have a look at the books like I told you guys, and yeah, it took us like, the flight is not really long, it's 1 hour to get back home. So when we arrived back home, my mom was there, she got hers, and we went home. I saw my Edgar again, my Frenchie, and afterwards we just kind of, yeah, I gave them the presents, and they were all happy, and I was happy as well. So yeah, it was a really nice trip, and I think I'm going to break it off now. Just let you know that this is actually the last week. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. This is actually the last week I had before going back to school. So it's first day at the moment. Tomorrow I'll have to go back to grade a student of my friends. So we have to be 2 teachers for that. And then on Monday I will start again. So Monday will be like, it will be pretty stressful, especially like with Jolly Jam as well on the side, and going back to school, preparing new stuff. So I'll be pretty stressed out, I guess. But I'll try to make place for like new videos and getting stuff done as well. So stay tuned for that. Just know that it's really a difficult time sometimes, like the first weeks for teachers if they go back to work. So yeah. But I'm kind of excited though, and I will let you know a little bit more about everything once the week has started, and I will keep that, I think, for next week. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed like the little talk about my trip. I did enjoy it a lot, so I will maybe put in some photos or whatever video from the concert, I don't know yet, at the end of the video. So if you stayed until now, you can see it, and I would love to hear from you. Like, just leave me some comment about the trip or anything. If you have something to say, I'm always happy to read your comments, to reply to them. It makes me really happy. So until next week, stay healthy, stay hydrated, my friends, and bye.